What's up, guys? Welcome to the Resellers Podcast, Season 2, Episode 3. I'm here with Les. Today's topic is the greatest reselling tip ever. And it is the tip that will bring Les all the way to the success level that she wants to be at, which is focusing on the buyer. This is 100% the most important part. So I'll talk about a couple of things. One, she's starting to do a little bit of a consignment route, buy, sell, trade. And the first thing I want to talk about is planning the sourcing. So driving is really important. The Bay Area has lots of traffic. In this scenario, you are the buyer. You're the customer because you're driving. So what have you noticed so far driving around the Bay, planning? And also I want you to talk about something you found out driving to like a colder area of the Bay Area.
Yeah, I feel like the past times when I've been driving, I've been a little shocked at how there hasn't been as much traffic. I thought I would be like caught in like 40 minutes of traffic. It's been kind of fine. I do feel a little bit grateful in the sense that I live like 10 minutes from the bins. It's so close. When the days that I do go at 6:30, I can wake up at like 6:10 and I'm there in like 10 minutes. Yeah, with my schedule, I feel like I've kind of looked at the different stores and the areas that they're in, and I'm like, okay, this store, it doesn't really matter the seasons. They'll take all items because it's always cold here. Like, for example, I went to a Crossroads near Golden Gate Park. It's always foggy there. They take hoodies, they take sweaters. The Crossroads over here in Berkeley and Oakland, they are strictly summer. It is hot over here. And yeah, I feel like I found a really good like little route that I've been going on so far. That's made things not as bad, like, you know, having to go from store to store. Yeah, I feel like I haven't gotten too many, like, I've gotten like the same worker over and over. It's been like a bunch of different workers. Yeah, I feel like my route so far it's been pretty good.
So what I'm trying to teach Les is that all these little details matter so much because an extra trip makes a big difference. Right now we have 10 stores I want her to visit per week, but I don't know which 10 stores. We're going to figure out which ones are good and bad. We went to a Plato's Closet that was literally the worst store I've ever been to. It had the best shirt was like an Ace Hardware shirt with a stain on it. There was like nothing in the store I would pay $1 for. That's how bad it was. They weren't even buying. It was like literally the worst store I've ever been to. So we don't need to go to that one anymore. People are like, oh, what if it's along the way? Don't do it. Skip this bad one, add one more good one to the route. That's really important. So this noticing details on which stores to go to, which stores to go to first, we haven't figured out yet. There's stores that take more items but pay less. There's items that take less items but pay more. So would you guys go to those ones first? Would you go to the ones that take more first? It really depends on the strategy. She also mentioned she doesn't know who the buyers are at each store. Imagine if you knew who the buyer was and you could just text them a picture and be like, should I even come in today? And they'll be like, 16, 4, 9, 8, come on in. That's a lot easier than going in. And I think that makes a huge difference. If they're like, hey, Les, back again this week. Very different. Yeah, and it's been a little bit of a challenge because you can't really scale the stores because you can have amazing pieces, but because I had asked a worker, I went in, I was like, is there any advice you can give me on my items? Because she only took about probably 5 items. I had so many, and she was like, honestly, it's just a matter of we're really full as a store. We have to be really picky. And also sometimes like the person buying, like it might be like the end of their shift. They want to go home. Like they don't really even want to look through your things. There's so much factors that go into it. Yeah. And this is exactly like all the details that go into a listing. Your title matters, your pictures matter, your details matter. You don't want to get a listing that it's somebody's last listing of the day and they don't put any details in there. It's like Alfani sweater, not a good brand, $39.99, terrible price, 4-day handling time, $28 for shipping. That's not going to sell. And that's the same thing as like going to somebody at the end of the shift, like going to a restaurant 2 minutes before they close is such a douchey move. And like, they're probably going to, if they do serve you, they're not going to be happy about it. It's not going to be the best quality stuff that you get. It's going to be like leftovers from the day. They're going to give you what they didn't sell that day. I mean, big difference. Show up beginning of the day, end of the day. I heard that you're guilty more often before the judge has lunch. Like that it literally matters. You want like an afternoon court session. So he's like not guilty, ready to go home.
Yeah.
So fresh in the morning or like 11 o'clock, they're hungry, they're ready to go to lunch.
Yeah.
You're going to jail.
For sure.
That being said, I think the strategic planning is huge. Now, parking could be an issue, but you also talked about the cost.
Yeah, so these times when I went, I got very blessed, as in the sense that every location I went to, I found a parking either right in front or right around the corner, and the store was like either in the corner, so it was very close. But the parking meters in San Francisco, I was spending $5 on each meter, and I was putting a timer on my phone, and because sometimes you really don't know how much time you're spending there. So I was putting a timer on my phone and then just filling it up, you know, just the time that I thought I would need. But yeah, on average, everyone was like $5. If I didn't get a parking right, like in front of the places, it definitely would have changed things, because like I said, I had 6 bags. So if I would have had to park far, I kind of don't know what I would have done. I need to buy a wagon. Yeah, for sure.
This is a huge deal. Also, lugging around 6 things is a challenge.
Yeah.
So we talked about getting different kinds of IKEA bags. I like the IKEA bags that you can wear as a backpack and that zip shut. There's also ones that you can just handhold. It depends on what you're looking for and how picky you are. But again, in this scenario, you are the buyer. In some scenarios, the consignment store is the buyer.
Yeah.
And I think that it really depends if you go to the store at the end. Also, they might have more cash in the register if they've had a good day at the sale. So it's like, there's so much strategy that goes into this. And if you could text someone at the store and save yourself 2-3 hours, it's such a big plus.
Yeah.
Next is going to be buyer focus. So I think that you've already, even though you just started, you have an idea of what each store wants.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. I mean, there's already certain stores that I've told Chris, I'm like, this store I really prefer not to go to, because even though it is on the route, I very much know that if I'm getting stuff at the bins, they're not really going to buy my things. It's in a very expensive area of San Francisco. They're not going to really buy my items unless I have really cool pieces. Yeah, even, sorry, I was a little bumpy. Okay, so yeah, even when I was going to Plato's in Pacifica, that one, I knew that they are going to take a lot of my items because everything is in good condition. I don't have anything like bad. But in that one, they're taking the hoodies, they're taking the tees, they're taking anything that's really trendy. So that one, I'm like, they're gonna get like most of my things. Buffalo Exchange, I just went to. That one was really interesting. It's very like alternative, like skater, like literally if you bring in some skinny jeans, they're not taking it. She told me like it has to be baggy. Like they're looking for any sort of trendy graphic tee. Their graphic tees were like so empty because so many people, she said that, because I asked her for a little bit of advice. She said that's the main thing that they sell, since in SF, especially that area, regardless of gender, they're buying the men's graphic tees. And even the people that I saw walking in, everyone was like baggy shirt, baggy pants, very like alternative style. But yeah, I mean, even just by going to these stores, these short amount of times, I've like already gotten like a basis of what every store is buying.
So this is something that I want to talk about. Les and I went to the outlets to look for items, and I went into a Gucci store, and I got what's called an SA. I got somebody at the store to help me. And originally I was walking around the store to like figure out who I wanted to be my person. And the person that greeted me, I ended up asking if she could be my style assistant. And I bought a couple of bags through her, but I asked her what to buy. I was kind of like, I went through the store with Buzz. I think these ones are pretty good. Let us know the pricing. She's like, oh, the red one is this price. The yellow one is $60 cheaper. And the black one is $40 cheaper. But I've never sold a black one. And I've sold 2 red ones, and I've sold 0 yellow. To give us an idea of the market and the trends, you should ask the workers there, what's popping, what's not working, what's on sale, what's not. So I texted her, when are you free at work for me to stop by again? She literally said, this is my schedule for the next 2 weeks. She sent me her work schedule. She's like, come in on a weekday early. Why would she say that? Because like she's not going to help me on a Saturday afternoon. They're not going to help you on Saturday afternoon. Come in on a Tuesday morning. They're bored.
She's not going to be able to give you like that quality experience that she knows she can give you.
And she's not going to give me all the deals when there's a bajillion people there. Like, oh, what's that? Then she's got to deal with all this zoo of things, and they want to be low key. And it's the exact opposite. I went to Chanel inside of a Neiman Marcus. That lady did not give me the time of day. I'm just not a high enough level buyer. I went in there and I bought a wall on a chain, which is their cheapest item. It's like, for her, it was like garbage. She was like, I can't believe you're buying this for your wife. She's going to leave you. It's like, that's how low it was on the tier. It's like the range is from 3,000 to like 30,000, and it's like 3,100. It's like the very, 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 very bottom. It's not even considered a handbag. That's how low the Chanel purchase I made was. The lady couldn't even call it a bag.
And it's still like thousands of dollars.
It's still thousands, $3,000. So that's like, you got to know your market, got to know your buyer. That lady is not willing to help me. I didn't give her anything reason to help me. And at Gucci, I may have bought a piece. Who knows? Maybe I was joking with Les. I was kind of. She said, "Oh, I have 3 left," and I was like, "Is that the perfect amount to say that you have left?" If you say you have 1 left, do they worry? If you say you have 5 left, do you think it's not popular? So maybe they always have 3 left. They're taught to say that. So knowing your buyer is huge. Knowing your customer, whether it's you, whether it's your family, like if you're being bothered by your family when you're doing listings, it's because you didn't set it up right. You gotta let them know, like, I'm not available for 2 hours when I'm taking my photos, no matter what. And if you know that, don't do that at dinner time. That would not work. Like, you're supposed to get kids out of the house. You wouldn't, at 8 o'clock in the morning, schedule your photos. You wouldn't schedule photos Friday night if you have a boyfriend. For sure. That scheduling is 90% of this. So knowing your buyer is huge. Your timing, your schedule, everything, making it consistent will actually make it so that you're successful. And for Les, I'm looking at 10 consignment stores, 2 full days at the bins, essentially. I want her to do laundry right after, so that it's not building up. And I think it's gonna work for her, but we'll find out. We're sort of in week 3.
Yeah, I definitely like that, going to the bins and then doing laundry right after, because I know if I go home, I am not going to want to leave my house. So doing the laundry right after, I've been liking doing that. So
everything right now is so important to make sure that you stay consistent and you're on a schedule. If you have any questions, email me at chrisdailyrefinement.com. This is our second plug for the event on July 27th, Saturday in California. It's free. 15 people come by. I want to show you how to resell in person, how things rank, what to buy. We're going to do 2 different types of sourcing. One is talking to suppliers. The other one is thrifting in the actual store. I'll go over both of those. I'll buy donuts and coffee. You buy yourself lunch, and we'll go to dinner. All right, guys, until next time. Bye. See you. Bye.